My name is Oshun. On this channel, we uncover the creepiest, most unusual haunted TikToks the internet has to offer for entertainment purposes. Y'all are my soul trap. Trap is with a Y because the Y is for you, and that's because I love you so freaking much. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the Soul Trap for your weekly dose of supernatural, coming to you every Sunday and Thursdays. Now, yes, I recorded this video about 3 times, okay? And there has not been any sound, and I apologize for that. So with that being said, the remaining of this video, you will not hear me say a word, but enjoy it because it's still enjoyable. At the end, I'll come back on screen, and that'll be that. Enjoy the show.
Snapshot of the film that was smuggled in 1991 out of a facility just south of Area 51. If I am truly in danger, that means that this film and this being is real, and God help me. But if I'm truly in danger and this being is real, that means the extraterrestrial program is also real. And I say, God help us all. It was a facility called S2 Alpha. S2 Alpha is the building on top of the ground. It's got administration. That is the entrance to the alien housing complex. S2 Alpha, S2 Annex. Folks, no one in ufology is going to bring you this. You go down that ramp, you turn to the left, the guard comes out, he hooks up an exhaust to your car, you go in and exchange badges. Now beneath S2 Alpha is the AHC, the alien housing complex. This is what I was told. This is where extraterrestrials were held, were retained for Project Aquarius, which was the alien retention and interrogation program. That was the unofficial name of those in the program.
Whether you want to believe this or not, the truth about what's going on in Hollywood, or like I like to say, Hollyweird, is the fact that we going into something new, right? We going into a better time, bro. We going into a better life, a better time frame with better people. There's a lot of people they sold out. You see what I'm saying? To listen to the people above them like puppet masters. But now what it's about positivity, not negativity. It's about community, not celebrity. You know, we don't worship false idols, bro. We can appreciate and be inspired by people, but now we got to make sure, we got to vet them and make sure that they genuine, that they're authentic. You know, make sure that they're not part of that Hollyweird system. A lot of people, bro, they do anything to get famous, anything to get rich, right? They don't got no more God left in them, right? So make sure that you continue to keep your soul in this twisted world, man. But we moving into better times, and that's why Hollywood is coming down.
This happened last October, close to Halloween. My parents and brother were making the trip from Florida to Tennessee to help my grandmother move into our house, and they wouldn't be back for a few days. Naturally, I thought it would be nice to have the house to myself for a couple days instead of traveling for hours in a car. On the second night of enjoying the alone time in my house, my heart dropped when I heard almost what sounded like a hand slap against my bedroom window. My house is one story in a rural area with few neighbors. After ruling out any animals or natural ways this could have happened, I decided to take a look for myself, so I moved the blinds to see if I could get a look at anyone running, hoping it was just a prank. I was almost annoyed to see no one, but what happened next made the situation go from confusing to frightening. When I started to hear the doorknob to the door being forcefully shaken and twisted, causing almost a bang at the door, and because of this, my dog started barking loudly, increasing my adrenaline in the situation. Thinking it could still just possibly be a prank by one of my few friends that knew I was alone, I began recording a video on Snapchat to send to my friends so that I could maybe confirm it was one of them. The first video starts with me standing a few feet back from the door to see if I could record it being moved again, and eventually I try to record outside the glass doors. The video ends when I'm terrified to hear behind me that my screened-in patio back door was just forced open. Before I could even turn around, my phone drops to the floor. I send the first video to my 3 friends. Whoever this was behind my house still couldn't get inside, but it was freaking me out knowing they weren't afraid to try. I wait a few minutes, and 2 of my friends send snaps from their homes, claiming their innocence and asking to keep them updated. Still a little freaked out, I realized my last friend Logan had opened the snap but didn't respond, which ironically would be the one person out of my group to try something like this. Feeling more confident it was Logan, I decided to start a new video with flash on and try to take a look from the backyard if there was anyone in the open grass yard. After making sure the front door was locked, I walked out hoping Logan would pop out to try and scare me. I checked behind some bushes and scrap wood on the side of my house, but instead I was greeted with just darkness and quiet. Only after 15 seconds of walking outside, I was immediately uncomfortable with the situation I was putting myself in. My fears got the better of me, and I decided to just go back inside. I stopped the video and returned to my living room. Logan finally responds to my snap, causing my breathing to halt when I see a picture of him in bed with his girlfriend saying, "What the fuck, bro? Call the cops." I immediately call 911 and make sure no windows or doors could be unlocked. I was advised to keep all doors locked and to call back if I hear any more forceful entry noises. It was only days later that I would re-watch the saved videos to find a creepy black figure watching me behind my tool shed while I searched behind the scrap wood and bushes, almost looking like they were deciding to attack me or not. Seeing it for the first time, and even now, makes me want to throw up from fear. Nothing has happened since, but I still wonder how someone knew I was alone that day, and what could have happened had I made eye contact with the figure watching from the corner of that shed.
Feed the kid, you know, and I didn't like that he would almost like booty call her, and I knew she didn't want to be with his ass. Like, he'd booty call her, and it's like, and if she didn't show up, like, the lights were not going to be on the next day. He'd broken her down so much that if she didn't, she honestly felt like she was going to be destitute.
Now, this ain't the first time we've heard about Diddy not allowing Kim to see other men, because just a few months ago, his ex-bodyguard Gene Deal also said there was a time when Kim slit Diddy's wrist after he tried to put his hands on her for speaking to another man.
Right hand is in a bandage. That's the night I was called by Paul to meet him over at St. Luke's Hospital. He had a white t-shirt wrapped around his wrist because Kim had took the cork, you know, where you open up wine, the corkscrew. She took the corkscrew and caught him on his wrist defending himself. And he almost, I think he hit, I know he tore some ligament, but he almost hit an artery or came close to the artery or either scratched it or cut it a little bit because he just kept bleeding. And from that point on, he was hooked. That's when I knew when they was talking about people getting addicted and hooked on pain medicines, that's what happened to him. And it was from his right wrist that he's reminded by Kim. That's Kim's book. Then you hear about the fact that
Tequila is exposing Hollywood. Mass exposure on like Illuminati, the all-seeing eye, and when they do this little like when they do the symbol, because a lot of in the media, I don't know if they're still doing that today in the land of the living, but I know what I experienced when I went down there. They call themselves the elites, and what it means is the elites of like the satanic kingdom, and they do this thing with the all-seeing eye. As you notice, in the past I had that all-seeing eye too, because I had to become one of them in order to come back and expose them, you see. So this wickedness, and for a while they're trying to keep me silent, but I'm like, wait a minute. you know, Satan's a liar, because he just wants me to be silent. Because we keep living in today's world, in the land of the living, and there's no justice anywhere. Like, where's the God of justice, right? It's because I kept silent all these years, but I'm not going to keep silent no more. But what goes on down there in Hollywood, I don't know if it's still going on today, because I don't want to accuse nobody. But what I saw, you know, I pray that everybody out there repents, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You know, in these they have lots of sex child trafficking rings, and they even have their own churches, but they're very satanic churches, and they do abominations. You know, they sodomize each other. I'm not going to get into details because it's so traumatizing to what I saw and experienced down there. But you know, the more power you have, the more fame you get, the more depraved things you have to do. So I don't know if they still do that today, like I said, but God our Father knows, God in heaven knows, the cloud of witnesses knows. So I pray, Heavenly Father, that if these things still go on out there, all of the world, all these elites, whatever they're trying to do like this, to be quiet, you know, that you will bring exposure to them and bring swift justice to the children's lives that were sacrificed, the children that are molested, because they often, you know, they were even like molesting 3-year-olds, and then they're asking me like, can we go even like lower, meaning like, can we have sex with a baby? And it was just so disgusting, guys. This is why I'm so traumatized, because I'm like, oh, I can't believe, you know, it's very traumatizing. I can't even talk about it because it's so nasty. But, you know, in the Illuminati world, Hollywood, if you're still doing that today, I pray that, Lord Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father, that you apprehend these criminals and bring them to justice, the ones who sacrifice babies, rape children, even in the government realm, the government officials, you know. But I don't know about the land of the living, but I'm going to have to testify anyways, because this is what I saw. It's like this huge, massive, worldwide elite. They call themselves, and they molest children. They, you know, sacrifice. It's just nasty, guys. I can't even... But anyways, I gotta testify this so that there's truth and justice to be had in the land. All glory to our Father in heaven and our Lord Jesus.
This man caused an entire state to go into lockdown. In 2003, a man named Ben Doberman went on trial for the disappearances of over 52 people in Washington state from 1974 to 2002. Ben, who was described as being over 7 feet tall, but weighing only 140 pounds, was often seen walking along the highway late at night, dressed in a suit. Many well-meaning drivers would pull over to offer him a ride, unaware of his dark intentions. In 2002, however, a truck driver accidentally struck the towering man and drove off, not realizing what had happened. The next morning, Ben was arrested after seeking medical care for his injuries at a nearby hospital. Due to growing suspicions and evidence tying him to the string of disappearances, Ben was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Yet, in 2009, during a routine morning roll call, the guards discovered that Ben was missing from his cell and nowhere to be found in the entire prison. It wasn't until they inspected behind his Scooby-Doo poster that they realized what had happened. The prison warden immediately contacted the governor of Washington, leading to a statewide lockdown.
He was the only one there with both situations, with my ex-wife and with my daughter, and they both died the same way.
Oh, so wow. you think that he killed Whitney as well?
I believe so. The hardest thing I had to do in my life was tell my daughter to let go.
Including their... And Brown is pointing fingers tonight about the tragic loss of his daughter, Bobbi Kristina.
For years, the tragic deaths of Bobbi Kristina and her mother, Whitney Houston, have left the world with more questions than answers. But now, Bobby Brown is finally exposing the unbelievable details about what really went down in the lives of his daughter and ex-wife. Both women died under eerily similar circumstances, and both leaving behind a trail of secrets that some believe may have ties to dark Hollywood rituals. Bobby Brown has lived through it all, and now he's ready to speak up about the truth behind his daughter's tragic passing and what really happened to Whitney.
When you find love, you find it. I mean, it finds you, I should say. Between me and her, it was so instant. We were so much like each other.
The death of Bobbi Kristina Brown has been shrouded in mystery for years. After her untimely passing at just 21 years old, many people have been left wondering what exactly happened. On January 31st, 2015, Bobbi Kristina was found unconscious in her Georgia home, lying face down in a bathtub, eerily similar to her mother, Whitney Houston, who died in a bathtub in 2012.
You walk through that door
and you see her much like you saw Whitney.
It was literally, it was a nightmare all over again.
Bobbi Kristina was rushed to the hospital and placed in a medically induced coma, but never regained consciousness. 6 months later, on July 26, 2015, she passed away.
This American woman sold her children's organs to become rich. In 1972, in the town of Goobersville, Ohio, there was a woman named Anita Mann who lived in an old farmhouse. To neighbors, she was a struggling single mother of two, always keeping to herself. But behind closed doors, Anita was hiding something far more sinister. Anita had fallen deep into debt and turned to the black market for a way out. Slowly, her children, Layla and Dookie, started getting sick. Doctors were baffled. One by one, the children disappeared, and Anita claimed distant relatives had taken them in. No one questioned her because times were hard, but whispers grew when townspeople noticed Anita's sudden wealth. New furniture, expensive jewelry, and even a shiny new car. About 6 months later, authorities captured a man who confessed to buying the children's organs. Anita was arrested, and the only thing she said was, "My children sacrificed themselves so I can live a good life." She was taken to court and sentenced to 2 years in prison.
A lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. After 40-something years in the business, I'm like, where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this.
Oh, okay, gang, we gonna get right into this one. First off, rest in peace to Angie Stone, the R&B legend, allegedly killed in a car accident. Now we gonna get straight to it. Allegedly, she's claiming that Universal Records owe her millions of dollars for over 30, 40 years, and she never got paid for it. And allegedly, this car accident is looking very suspect. Let's get to the video. Prayers up for their family. You are now tuned in to the latest YouTube channel in the world.
This is how Angie Stone died. On March 1st, 2025, the world lost a true R&B icon. Angie Stone, the powerhouse behind hits like Wish I Didn't Miss You and Brotha, has died at the age of 63. She was involved in a tragic car accident in Montgomery, Alabama, after leaving a performance. Fans were devastated when the news broke, and tributes have been pouring in from across the music industry. Angie Stone's career began in the late 1970s with the pioneering hip-hop trio The Sequence, making history with Funk You Up. But it was her soulful, heartfelt voice that made her a legend in the neo-soul movement. Her albums Black Diamond and Mahogany Soul shaped R&B for a generation. Beyond music, she was an actress, a songwriter, and a mentor to many rising artists. She even worked alongside legends like D'Angelo and Alicia Keys, leaving an undeniable mark on the industry. Her sudden death has left fans in shock, but her voice and legacy will never fade. Rest in peace, Angie Stone. Your music will live forever.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that Angie's one of the pioneers of rap. The Sequence, your first
female
group to go gold.
Yeah, the first female group, period, to do an original rap record, to do a rap record that garnered the world. We had our neighborhood rappers, we had our New York City rappers, but Sequence was the world's rappers, and I think people get it twisted.
I think that you should be getting credit as a pioneer in female rap. Like, I don't think that. Didn't y'all go gold?
We went gold. We were the first group to go gold, sell 12-inch records, that many 12-inch records, along with the Sugar Hill Gang, toured the world pretty much. We never get the recognition. Of course, you know, that's probably platinum 10 times over by now.
Yeah.
But we don't get the recognition because I think the New Yorkers got a little salty because, you know, we made it out the starting gates. I mean, it's like a race, a marathon race. You're doing a 440 relay, you pass the time. Whoever you end up at the finish line, hey, it's fair game.
Word.
You know what? Nobody knows the story because I'm a New Yorker and as deep in Miami as in hip hop.
Maybe I know because I'm from South Carolina.
I had no clue.
So.
You know.
I really had no clue.
What, Funk You Up?
No, I knew Funk You Up, but I didn't know that
Sequence.
The Sequence was the first group that pretty much go gold as a girl.
But who did you think went gold first?
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper.
Ooh. And we were 10, 15 years before them? There used to be a thing you probably wouldn't know this either in Cashbox, called Cashbox and Billboard. If you do your research, it's there. We were the first female group, hip-hop group, period, to make Cashbox. And Rolling Stone just did a big article on us because a lot of people that were back then, they knew why they getting any attention. And, you know, I just think it's sad because a lot of the females, hip-hoppers, and trust me, I love them all. Big respect, props. But Lauryn Hill loves Angie Stone because it's reminiscent to what she did with her group. Rap, sing. And that's what we did. Now, when I
heard of anything like that, did they put a gag on it?
I didn't even know.
Well, I'm using that word gag, but when your boss tells you,
it was a gag on it.
Right.
So who taught you how to make the music, like how to do a 16?
Now, gang, this when the story take a left turn. Now, check this out. Listen to her story.
A lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. After 40-something years in the business, I'm like, where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. Even though there are several class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs. All the songs that I've done, I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to, people that were supposed to do their due diligence. So I am truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time, because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made. So I'm just here to let you know, one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money.
Back when I started, had a lot of sun and a lot of rain. I've had some joy and been broken hearted, but now that doesn't mean a thing. I'm living for the joy and laughter, longing for my befores and afters. All in all, it's been cool, and there's nothing I wouldn't do. I'm so happy being me. Oh, I'm so happy being me. I'm regretting nothing about me. I'm too busy living life. Looking back when I started, had a lot of sun and a lot of rain. I've had some joy and been broken hearted, but now that doesn't mean a thing. I'm living for the joy and laughter, longing for my befores and afters. All in all, it's been cool, and there's nothing I wouldn't do. I'm so happy being me. Oh, I'm so happy being me. I'm regretting nothing about me. I'm too busy living life. Looking back.
eyes were able to adjust to the darkness, I saw my mom, my 2 aunts, and my aunt's husband hiding behind a wall near the stairway. We were at the 3rd floor of my aunt's house, and the stairs is only a meter away from the door of the room where I slept, so from where I was lying, you could see anyone who's going to go up the stairwell. I called my mother, "Ma?" and walked towards my scared aunts. They all looked at me and whispered to stay quiet. If you're a kid and you saw your mom and aunts hiding from something, you would be curious, right? I tried to peek from the wall to see what's scaring them, but my mom pulled me back. She said it was the angel of death. That piqued my curiosity even more. What does it look like? So while they're whispering and discussing what to do, I tried to peek again. This time my mom was not able to pull me, and I was horrified by what I saw. The staircase of this house, by the way, is U-shaped, and it's in front of this huge glass window. Outside that glass window was a woman, dressed in a black robe with a hoodie. The hood of her robe is down, and I can see her pale, white face, her neck-length hair. She was peeping inside the house from the window, like she's trying to find someone. I know she's floating because there's no way she can look into the 2nd floor window with half of her body showing without any problems, holding a huge scythe on her right hand. My aunt's husband pulled me in again, but it was too late.
In the words of Kanye, my mama was here, my mama was sacrificed. Pay close attention to what you're about to see and hear. Observe. Look at him. Look at Gilly. Observe, y'all. Y'all hear the song? My sacrifice? All subliminal. He's dreading to sign. He not happy. He's dreading. Because he knows something. Look at this. I remember being blind to it. Like a chain reaction.
Confirm the identity of the victim yet, but a source close to the family confirms with us a well-known Philly rapper lost his son last night. Tributes are pouring in for the 25-year-old known as YNG Cheese. Police say 1 man died and 2 others were hurt in the shooting on Masher Street in Olney. It happened before 8:30 last night. They say the victim was shot once in the back. NBC 10 has confirmed that victim is son of longtime Philly rapper Gilly the Kid. His podcast
This was the real-life Saw. During the 1930s, an inventor named Henry Warren moved to Granville, Ohio. He lived a lonely life in an old Victorian house on the edge of town. His arrival made the locals uneasy, who couldn't shake the feeling that something was strange about him. For years, odd events haunted the town. People reported hearing strange noises at night, and a series of disappearances remained unexplained. Most residents thought these incidents were just accidents or runaways. But when a drifter named Carl Davis vanished near Warren's property, suspicions turned toward the reclusive inventor. James Randall, the local detective, was brought in to investigate. On the night of August 3rd, 1936, Detective Randall made his move. He approached the house under the cover of darkness, found an open basement window, and slipped inside. The basement was filled with odd contraptions, and as he looked around, Randall discovered a lever hidden behind debris. He carefully pulled it, activating a hidden mechanism. The walls shifted, revealing compartments containing remains and a maze of devices meant to trap anyone caught in Warren's twisted games. Stunned, Randall turned to leave, but as he reached the window, he stopped cold. Standing in the corner was Henry Warren, his face calm and unreadable. At that moment, Randall knew his nightmare had only just begun. The way he managed to escape this situation will leave you speechless. Drop your thoughts in the comments and share for part 2.
This should be interesting. What happened to your shoestrings?
I gave them to you.
When?
For the sacrifice.
Break it down to me.
I thought about what can I take from my body that could I burn and mean a lot for you as a sacrifice. And I said my shoelace.
We won't never start the interview until you remove the hat.
Oh, I thought you started already.
Because they don't know who I'm talking to.
They do though. Who got this?
Kanye West, college dropout.
You don't have this.
Yes,
Kanye don't have this.
Yes, he do.
Kanye don't have this.
Yes, he do.
You know Kanye don't have this.
Yes, he do.
No, he don't.
I know Kanye.
I'm not gonna doubt that. You know a lot of people. I seen Steve Harvey call you and you ignored him.
I was busy.
Were you? I hope so. You ready to start?
Yep.
All right, let's get it.
Give it up for James, y'all.
How you been?
Fine.
How fun?
Nice artwork.
You like it?
How do you...
Oh, those shoes are crazy.
Thank you.
Damn.
You can see them with 1 eye or 2.
3.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about wondering?
I like Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you feel when it comes to wondering about shit? Like the word wonder.
It's okay. It's not my favorite of that same vernacular. I like other words to mean wonder instead of wonder.
So is that why you're a one-hit wonder?
I don't think so.
What do you call it?
My life.
So you tend to give up on things?
I never gave up on you.
This is our second time meeting.
That means I didn't give up on you, right?
What about music? Because you are talented.
I ain't give up on music.
You
I'm
did.
doing my new album.
I mean, but then, we was waiting on you. We got all gold, and then it went platinum.
I did go platinum. I appreciate that. That's amazing. You want some more?
You just needed a quick check?
I got more than a quick check, but I don't know. What did I need, though? I think I needed to see what entertainment was about. You know, I think understanding the entertainment business is more important than getting plaques so that you can call them out. I think so, but, you know.
I get it. So, can you explain the All Gold situation, the story, what came about it in the studio that night?
It was a couple people, and over in the bathroom to the left, there was like a fire happening, but not a real fire. Like they were like, you know, smoking meth or something. And in the room next to him, like right close to the studio, because it was inside of like a closet, it was like a casket on the wall. And every time I looked at it, I was like, dang, that's a gold casket. And then when they opened it, I was like, damn, I got to make this song. And that's how it happened.
We weren't equipped. We weren't to deal with it. You know, nobody had ever dealt with that. And, you know, with the idea of even losing him.
Matthew Perry's final Instagram post before passing away has literally given me goosebumps. It's a picture of him in his jacuzzi. As you might now be aware, Matthew Perry was found unalive in his jacuzzi and has passed away at the age of 54.
Friend star Matthew Perry has sadly passed away, and the strange circumstances of his death got both fans and his celeb friends very alarmed. Matthew's friends Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer have released a joint statement and shared how heartbroken they feel about losing someone so close to them in such a shocking and unexpected manner. But why is there so much shock and confusion surrounding Matthew's death? Why are fans saying Matthew's last Instagram post is proof that this wasn't an accident?
This morning, as fans mourn the loss of one of their greatest friends, we're learning new details about the investigation into Matthew Perry's death. A source close to Perry telling NBC News that the 54-year-old actor was discovered by his assistant. Law enforcement says that he was found unresponsive in a jacuzzi.
Okay, we need to talk about what's happening with the ongoing investigation into Matthew Perry's death, because some strange details are now coming out, and people on social media have been talking and saying Matthew sent out a distress signal for help a few days before he reportedly drowned in his jacuzzi. Matthew, best known for his role as Chandler Bing on Friends, died on Saturday, October 28th at age 54 of suspected drowning. According to TMZ, on Saturday morning, Matthew spent a few hours playing pickleball, and when he returned to his house in the LA area, he asked his assistant to run some errands. In the meantime, Matthew decided to relax in his backyard jacuzzi, but sadly, when the assistant returned, they discovered Matthew unresponsive in the water. The assistant immediately called 911 and reported a cardiac arrest. Now, from what I saw saw in the news, it's still not clear whether Matthew had already passed away by the time his assistant found him. But when paramedics arrived, they couldn't revive him, and he was sadly declared deceased on the scene. TMZ said that the police at this point don't suspect any foul play, and they apparently didn't find any drugs on the scene. But the autopsy will reveal if there were any substances in Matthew's system, and the investigation is ongoing. But there are so many bizarre coincidences about the way Matthew passed. And I know many people are always quick to come up with conspiracy theories when a celebrity dies. But honestly, now that I've gone through all the receipts, I just can't help but feel there's something off about this situation. So first of all, TMZ reporters were apparently on the scene even before the police started investigating, and they immediately published an article claiming there were no drugs around. But how would they know so quickly? And now Page 6, not TMZ, is now saying that prescription drugs were found at Matthew's place. So TMZ is saying the drowning was most likely accidental. And I guess it's possible that Matthew suffered a heart attack or some other medical emergency that caused him to lose consciousness while he was in the hot tub. Either way, an autopsy...
Well, you reached the end of another video. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, baby. I do not take it for granted. As mentioned in the beginning, I do apologize for there not being no sound on my end as I was talking to you guys and giving you my opinions on the videos. It is what it is, okay? Go to another video and listen to that commentary, okay? No, but I do apologize. I really do. As you guys know, I am learning as I go, okay? I don't have a team behind me just yet. I do this all on my own. Everything that has to do with this channel is all me. So if you want to help me, support me, teach me, I'm open for suggestions. Financially, you wait to the end. You can see my Cash App and send me $1, just $1. It helps, trust me, and it's appreciated. And then, you know, if you don't got it, that's cool too. It's sharing is caring, and it's free. So all you got to do is like, comment, share, subscribe this video, and you already know, give it to who? Everybody that you know, your auntie, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your granddaddy, your grandmamas, daddies, pappas, baby sisters, cousin. Everybody can get it, okay? The baby daddy too. So, yes, y'all, sharing is caring. Please just share these videos, share our channel, help us grow, and it's free. But if you can spare $1, I take $1. All right, y'all, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I'm outie 5,000. I should.